Testing 1 2, testing 1 2, testing 1 2 3. Welcome in, everyone. Before I get started, if you would, can you please put a one in the chat to let me know you can hear me and see me? Check 1 2, check 1 2, check 1 2. All right, I think we're good. I had audio playing on two different things. All right. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Thank you for letting me know you can hear me and see me. I appreciate it. If this is your first time here, welcome in. If not, welcome back. We are here at Bayou Sugar Garden, and I am Bayou Sugar. Again, make sure you hit that like button if you are on the YouTube side. Share out the live. If you're on the TikTok side, hit that like button, tap that screen, grab your daily heart me, and if you can, please share out the live. Let me just speak to a few people here while I am here, just to let y'all know that I do have some manners. I do have a bit of Southern hospitality, just a little bit. So if you are in the bushes, hey girl, hey. Well, hey, boy, hey, welcome in. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. If you are catching a replay, one time for you. Hashtag replay team. If you are catching a replay, make sure you leave me a comment to let me know that you have been here. I do read them. And at some point, I do respond to my comments. I do. I really do. But I do read them way before I respond to them. So I appreciate the hashtag replay team. If you are live in the chat here with me, let's see who we got over here. We got Unbiased LLC. Hey, Queen, welcome in one time for you. Just say happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to you too, love. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you. The Bud Files, welcome in. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Excuse me. Thank you for being here, cousin Angela. Thank you for being here, cousin. One time for you. Hope you're having a great day, honey bunny. Thank you for being here. Mama Shirley, Miss Shirley, OG Gardner. One time for you. Thank you for being here. And Mama Shirley is reminding y'all, smash that like button, family. And in her words, show me that you like me just a little bit. Thank you for being here, Mama Shirley. I appreciate you. She's my body says, congratulations on your monetization, Queen. I'm late in knowing. Oh, thank you, honey. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Listen, I still gotta do I was supposed to do last week a giveaway for the monetization. But I have time to get to it this weekend, so I'll probably do a giveaway. It'll be a pop-up, but we'll be there. We'll do something. So, if you are live over there on the TikTok in the bushes, I appreciate you. One time for you. I thank y'all for being here on this good Tuesday evening where we are going to continue our conversation, one of our garden gumbo conversations about learning your history. And as we have been echoing in previous lives, part one and part two, that we must learn our history because if we don't learn it, we will lose it. They will erase it, and we will definitely repeat it. And so that's what we are doing. Um, the purpose of us learning and going through this information is so that we could do better, you know? That's the saying, if you know better, you do better, right? And that's what essentially we are trying to do. Um, I don't know how this is going to pan out on sharing on TikTok with its rules and guidelines and regulations, but we're gonna try to see it through. I'm gonna try to keep it to where it's not too graphic, because some of these may be too graphic for TikTok. I don't know. So for those of you who are over there, um, we're gonna see what it could do. We're gonna see what it could do. They might cut us off or shut us down. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see. Uh so trying to make sure I don't forget anything. She said back in the bushness but listening. Thank you so much, Mama Shirley. I appreciate it. We left off our last conversation where I think I was telling y'all that I was gonna share information about the leader of the Black Panther Party. Either I mentioned that in one of my other lives. I'm not sure. It's we've been going through a lot of information. So if I didn't state that in the last live, I'm saying it now. That's where we're going today. We're gonna start off the top of the story, the top of the uh, story, talking about the leader of the Black Panther Party. And we do hop around and we talk about different cultures. So it's not just African American culture, it's not this Native American culture, but it's all cultures because we need to know all histories, all backgrounds. Because if you've been tuning in, and even if you haven't been tuning in, you know that things that happen to other people, when you know it, it helps you to better understand why they move the way they move, why they think the way they think, and if you should find yourself in a position to where you are in a setting to where you have to um, communicate with different people, you'll be able to understand that why they have the perspective that they have, and then you'll be able to learn how to coexist with people with different backgrounds, right? You say, okay, can't keep it all organized when your topics go in deep. Right. It's hard. It's hard. It'd be hard to keep it all organized when it's deep. So, but we're gonna start this first one uh off of the top of the hour. I'm gonna try to share my screen with you guys so you can see it. I do want to offer a trigger warning because some of this information may trigger some of us, but stick with me, bear it. You know, it's time for us to learn so that we can, like I said, do better. I had one of the viewers say, you know, now that we have this information, you know, what do we do with it? Where do we go from here? What are we going to do with this information? And excuse me, to me, um, as an individual, what I plan to do is use this information as a catalyst to go do more research on my family individually, right? To find out where I come from, find out the things that may be owed to my family, and even not just things that are old, but things that I need to know that'll help me in my present day life to move differently and share that information with my children and teach them the importance of carrying that information on because I know for me with things in life, I wish I had the ancestors here in the physical to ask them questions to steer me in the right direction and get the knowledge that I need because it will help you avoid a lot of paths that you don't have to take. And so I feel like we're kind of behind. Well, we're behind and we're trying to learn things that were buried or either erased with our ancestors. And so we're reaching back trying to get that. And so once we get it, don't let that information die with us. I don't plan to let the information that I get to, you know, go out with me. I plan to spread it to my kids and let them know the importance of it so they can spread it to their kids. Welcome in, Galinda. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. One time for Galinda. I plan on spreading that, you know, letting them know the importance of spreading it to their kids so that we can continue to move forward. And as a people, welcome in, Miss J.K. Gardner. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. One time for you. And as a group of people, what can we do? I'm doing fine, Galinda. How are you? As a group of people, what can we do collectively with this information that we have? We can learn how to coexist with each other. And that is one of the reasons why I want to start with this story right here. If we take our history and learn from it, it is more power in our history than we know. We are so separated and divided, right? But there's this saying that if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So that's where we're going to start today with the story that is very important that I think everyone should know. So without further ado, let's get this show on the road. Let me make sure the volume is up so y'all be able to hear. Yes, it is. All right.
Next thing I remember was someone in our room shaking Chairman Fred. Chairman, wake up, wake up. Plaster was flying off the wall. You could smell the cordite from the gunshot.
December 3rd, 1969. It's just past midnight. A small apartment on Chicago's west side. Fred Hampton is on the phone with his mother. Mid-sentence, he stops talking. His head drops. The phone slips out of his hand. His fiancée, Akua Njeri, 8 months pregnant, thinks he just fell asleep. He did, but not on his own. The man who cooked dinner that night had slipped a barbiturate into Fred's drink. That man was Fred's head of security, his most trusted bodyguard. He was also being paid by the FBI. 3 hours later, a People's Gas truck pulls up outside the apartment, but there's no gas crew inside. 14 plainclothes Chicago police officers step out. Shotguns, handguns, a submachine gun, and a hand-drawn floor plan of the apartment with Fred Hampton's bed marked on it. They kicked down the door. They fired 99 bullets. The Panthers fired 1. Fred Hampton never woke up. He was 21 years old. This is not a story about what happened. You just heard that part. This is a story about why. Why did the most powerful government on earth need a 21-year-old kid dead so badly that they drugged him in his sleep and shot him in his bed? (1966) Chicago. On paper, segregation is over. The Civil Rights Act was signed 2 years ago. Jim Crow is dead. But if you're black and living on the west side of Chicago, nothing changed. Your landlord still won't rent to you outside the ghetto. The cops still crack your skull for walking in the wrong neighborhood. And the mayor? He's the one who put you there. Mayor Richard Daley has spent years cramming black families into high-rise housing projects, stacking them on top of each other in already overcrowded neighborhoods on the south side and west side. That's where you're allowed to exist. On the north side, in Lincoln Park, a large Puerto Rican community is getting squeezed out by the same city government. And in Uptown, poor white families who migrated from Appalachia looking for factory work, same story. Different skin, same poverty. Same landlords. Same cops who don't come when you call. None of these groups talk to each other. That's by design. As long as poor people are fighting each other over crumbs, nobody looks up at who's holding the plate. Then a 20-year-old kid from the suburbs walks into Chicago and says, "What if we all fought together?" Fred Hampton joins the Black Panther Party in 1968. Within months, he's running the entire Illinois chapter. He's organizing weekly rallies. He's teaching political education classes at 6 in the morning. He's launching free breakfast programs that feed thousands of children before school. Because in the richest country on earth, kids in black neighborhoods are going to school hungry. He opens free health clinics, starts sickle cell testing in communities where the government won't even acknowledge the disease exists. He sets up a community supervision program where Panthers follow the police around the neighborhood. Because in 1960s Chicago, the police aren't there to protect you. They're there to remind you who's in charge. But here's what made the FBI lose sleep at night. It wasn't the guns. It wasn't the berets. It wasn't the raised fists. It was this. Fred called it the Rainbow Coalition. He took the Black Panthers. He took the Young Lords, a Puerto Rican revolutionary group. And he took the Young Patriots, poor white Southerners from uptown who literally wore Confederate flags on their jackets. And he got them all on the same side. Then he went further. He brokered a non-aggression pact between Chicago's most powerful street gangs, went on live television to announce it, a 21-year-old kid doing what every politician, every social worker, every police chief in Chicago had failed to do for decades. He was building a movement that crossed every racial line the system had drawn to keep people divided. Black, brown, and poor white people organized together under one leader. Now think about what that looks like through the FBI's eyes. This isn't an angry radical shouting on a street corner. This is something they've been terrified of since the 1950s. In 1968, J. Edgar Hoover sent an internal memo to every FBI field office in America. The directive was clear: prevent, by any means necessary, the rise of what he called a messiah who could unify and electrify the militant nationalist movement. By 1969, Fred Hampton was that messiah. He was 21, and he was about to be appointed to the Black Panther Party's National Central Committee, one of the most powerful positions in the organization. The FBI decided that could not happen. J. Edgar Hoover ran the FBI for 48 years, almost half a century. No president dared to fire him. No politician dared to challenge him. He kept secret files on everyone: senators, judges, presidents, and they all knew it. And in the 1960s, Hoover turned the full weight of the FBI against the Black Freedom Movement, not with handcuffs, not with courtrooms, with something far uglier: COINTELPRO, a secret, illegal domestic warfare operation. Its mission, straight from FBI files, was to expose, disrupt, misdirect, discredit, and otherwise neutralize Black organizations and their leaders. Neutralize. When the FBI says that word, they don't mean embarrass. They don't mean debate. They mean destroy. And if destroying doesn't work, eliminate. Under COINTELPRO, the FBI planted informants inside every major Black organization in America. They sent forged letters designed to start feuds that actually got people killed in cities across the country. They fed lies to newspapers to turn the public against the Panthers. In Chicago, they went after Fred Hampton personally. They sent a forged letter to Jeff Fort, the leader of the Blackstone Rangers, the biggest gang in the city, claiming that Fred had put a hit on him. The FBI was literally trying to get a gang leader to murder Fred Hampton, so they wouldn't have to do it themselves. It didn't work. Fred was too smart, too connected, too loved. And in repeated directives to the Chicago field office, Hoover didn't just order his agents to stop the Panthers from carrying guns. He ordered them to destroy what the Black Panther Party stands for and eradicate its Serve the People programs, eradicate the breakfast programs, eradicate the clinics, eradicate the things that were helping people. Because those programs were the real threat, not the guns, the love. When none of it worked from the outside, the FBI did what the FBI does. They sent someone from the inside. 1968, a police station somewhere in Chicago. A 19-year-old kid named William O'Neill is sitting in an interrogation room. He's been caught stealing a car and driving it across state lines. Not just any car theft, a federal offense. He even flashed a fake FBI badge during the arrest. He's looking at serious time. Across the table sits FBI Special Agent Roy Martin Mitchell. Mitchell is calm, professional. He's been trained to spot potential informants, and he sees one. Mitchell makes the offer. Your charges disappear. You get a monthly stipend. All you have to do is join the Black Panther Party and tell us everything. O'Neill takes the deal, and he doesn't just infiltrate, he climbs. Fast. Within months, William O'Neill becomes the head of security for the entire Illinois chapter of the Black Panther Party, Fred Hampton's personal bodyguard. He has keys to every headquarters and safe house in Chicago. He sits in on every strategy meeting. He eats with them, sleeps in their cribs, lives as a Panther 24 hours a day, and every piece of it goes straight back to Agent Mitchell. In late November 1969, O'Neill delivers the final piece, a hand-drawn floor plan of Fred Hampton's apartment at 2337 West Monroe Street. Every room, every doorway, every wall, and one detail circled in particular, the exact location of Fred Hampton's bed. The FBI passes that floor plan directly to Cook County State's Attorney Edward Hanrahan. A raid is organized. 14 officers are selected, but O'Neill's final act of betrayal is the one that turns this from a raid into a premeditated execution. On the evening of December 3rd, O'Neill is at the apartment. He's cooked dinner for everyone, and somewhere in that meal, he slips secobarbital into Fred Hampton's drink. By 1:30 in the morning, Fred falls asleep mid-sentence on the phone with his mother. O'Neill slips out of the apartment. His job is done. 4:30 in the morning, December 4th, 1969. It's still dark outside. A People's Gas truck rolls up to West Monroe Street. The street is empty. No one sees the 14 plainclothes officers step out. Shotguns, handguns, a submachine gun, and a map, courtesy of the FBI, with Fred Hampton's bedroom marked on it like a target. They kick down the front door. The police fired between 90 and 99 rounds into that apartment. Bullets ripped through every wall, through the living room where Panthers were sleeping on the floor, through the back bedroom where Fred Hampton lay drugged and unconscious next to Akua Njeri, 8 months pregnant. The shooting stops. Officers enter the back bedroom. Fred Hampton is lying on the mattress, barely alive. He never woke up. He never raised a weapon. He never had a chance. Then 2 more shots, point blank, into the back of his head. Hours later, State's Attorney Hanrahan holds a press conference. He calls it a fierce gun battle. He says the Panthers opened fire on police. He shows photographs of what he calls bullet holes in the front door. Proof, he says, that the Panthers shot first. Every word of it is a lie. Those bullet holes? Nail heads. The police literally hammered nails into the door and told the press they were bullet holes. And here's how arrogant they were. After the raid, they didn't even seal the apartment. The Panthers sent their own people in with cameras. A filmmaker named Mike Gray documented everything. Blood everywhere, bullet holes in every single wall, and every last one of them went in one direction, into the rooms where the Panthers were sleeping. It wasn't a raid. It wasn't a shootout. It was a government-sponsored execution of a 21-year-old man they couldn't beat any other way. March 8, 1971, Media, Pennsylvania. While most of America is watching the Muhammad Ali-Joe Frazier fight, a group of activists walk into an FBI field office, break open the filing cabinets, and walk out with thousands of classified documents. Those documents blow open one of the biggest scandals in American history. They reveal COINTELPRO, the FBI's secret, illegal war against its own citizens. The wiretaps, the fake letters, the assassinations, all of it exposed. And buried in those files? A hand-drawn floor plan of 2337 West Monroe Street, Fred Hampton's apartment, drawn by William O'Neill, given to the FBI, passed to the Chicago police, and a memo authorizing a $300 bonus to O'Neill for his role in the raid. His FBI handler, Roy Mitchell, received $200 and a personal commendation letter from J. Edgar Hoover himself, praising Mitchell's aggressiveness and skill in handling a valuable source. A commendation letter for helping murder a sleeping 21-year-old, signed by the director of the FBI, like it was a performance review. For 13 years, attorneys Jeffrey Haas and Flint Taylor fought to prove what happened that night. Their civil rights lawsuit dragged the truth out of the government document by document. A federal appeals court found serious evidence of a conspiracy between the FBI, Hanrahan, and the Chicago police to subvert and eliminate the Black Panther Party. In 1982, the government settled for $1.85 million, paid to the families of Hampton and Clark and the surviving Panthers. The family's attorney said it plainly: The settlement was an admission of the conspiracy to murder Fred Hampton. The government said it wasn't an admission of guilt. It never is. So why did the United States government murder Fred Hampton? Not because he was violent, not because he was a criminal, not because he carried a gun, because he was feeding children, because he was healing communities, because he figured out something that the FBI had spent decades making sure would never happen: how to get black, brown, and poor white people to stop fighting each other and start fighting the system. The free breakfast programs the Panthers created, before them, there was no free breakfast in American schools. The idea didn't exist. Now, it's in every school district in the country. The free health clinics? Almost every major college campus has one. Sickle cell testing as a recognized medical priority. That didn't exist before the Panthers pushed for it. The FBI called these programs a threat to national security. Today, we call them basic human services. The man who betrayed Fred, William O'Neill, was placed in witness protection after his role was exposed in 1973. He returned to Chicago secretly in 1984. He later admitted he was not a happy man. On January 15, 1990, Martin Luther King Day, O'Neill ran onto Interstate 290 and was struck by a car. His death was ruled a suicide. Fred Hampton once said, "You can kill a revolutionary, but you can never kill the revolution." They proved him right, because over 55 years later, you're watching this video, and now you know exactly why they killed him.
Well, now we know. Now we know. So, and he wasn't doing anything that would warrant his life being taken. But he was against what the agenda of the powers that may be have. He was able to bring people together. And, you know, once you're together, you're stronger together. Especially people with different cultures. And y'all get to sharing different ideas like we doing now. I mean, nobody wants to see that happen. Because it makes you stronger, makes you less vulnerable to be taken advantage of. And people who trying to get what they want and leave everybody else down, it's easier for them to accomplish that. So know your history. If you have not heard of Fred Hampton before, now you know. And spread the information. Now you know the truth, right? But again, which I should have said at the beginning of this um, live, is do your own research, right? Don't take my word for it. I am just here to provide this live for educational, entertainment purposes only. So go back and do your own research, right? I am not perfect. You not perfect. The person that's providing this information is not perfect. So don't take my word for it. Go do your own research and find out. You might find out some additional details that we may not even know. All right, so we're going to move on to the next story. Again, if you do not learn your history, you lose it, they'll try to erase it, and it will repeat itself. Hold on, guys.
Police arrest Fannie Lou Hamer at a bus station.
I had that one on mute. Let's start it over.
1963, Mississippi. Police arrest Fannie Lou Hamer at a bus station. Her crime? Sitting at a whites-only lunch counter. Winona Jail. Police forced 2 black prisoners to beat her with blackjacks. For 4 days, they beat her until her body goes hard. Can't bend her fingers. Blood clot forms over her left eye. Nearly goes blind. Kidneys damaged. Permanent. Legs damaged. Permanent limp. Why? She was trying to register black people to vote. Behind it? Mississippi's war on black voters. 1962. Fannie Lou Hamer, 44 years old, attends a meeting about voting rights. Her reaction? I had never heard until 1962 that black people could register and vote. 44 years old, didn't know she had the right to vote. August 1962, she tries to register at the courthouse, fails the literacy test, designed for black people to fail. That night, her plantation owner fires her. If you don't withdraw, you leave. She refuses, loses her job, loses her home. 10 days later, 16 bullets shot into the house where she was staying. She wasn't inside, but the message was clear. She didn't stop, kept organizing voter registration. June 1963, that's when they beat her in Winona. August 1964, Democratic National Convention in Atlantic City. Fannie Lou stands before the country, televised, tells America what happened to her in that jail. The beating, the terror, everything.
Is this America, the land of the free and the home of the brave?
President Johnson panics, calls a fake press conference to get her off TV. Doesn't work. Networks broadcast her testimony later. Millions watch. The nation shocked. 1965, Voting Rights Act passes. Her testimony helped make it happen. She continues organizing until her health fails. Built Freedom Farm Cooperative. Fed thousands. Created 200 homes for poor families. March 14, 1977, dies of heart failure, age 59. The 1963 beating contributed to her death, but her words live on.
Nobody's free until everybody's free.
1963.
Fannie Lou Hamer. Wonder if any of you guys have ever heard of her. She's one of the women that one of the many women or many people that helped contribute to us being able to vote. Miss J.K. says there is a movie called Black Judas that speaks to the Fred Hampton and the Panther story. Yes, I haven't seen that, but I've heard of it. Um, so if you guys haven't check out Black Judas. And now that we've talked about the Fred Hampton story, look, we know why it's named the Black Judas. So I hope you guys, if you haven't heard of Fannie Lou Hamer, do your research. Get some more research on. There's more to her story. This is just, little tidbits to help spark you to go and do more research to find out about these people that are instrumental in things that occur in your life, things that we take for granted a lot of the times. All right. Let's go across the water a little bit.
1974, Dominican Republic. 350 black farming families worked 8,000 acres for 50 years. Then Pablo Diaz Hernandez arrived, said it was his land now. Barbed wire went up, bulldozers came. Armed guards patrolled. The families were being erased. Then one woman refused to leave, Mama Tingo, 52 years old. Couldn't read a single word, couldn't write her own name. But she understood something the rich landowner didn't. Land belongs to those who work it. She organized every farmer, led them to protests, marched to government offices. Officials dismissed her, dark-skinned, uneducated, poor, a woman. She didn't stop, got them a court hearing. Finally, justice. November 1st, 1974, the day arrived. Pablo Diaz didn't show up. Mid-hearing, someone ran in. Mama Tingo, your pigs escaped. She rushed home to gather them. It was a setup. Pablo's foreman, Ernesto Diaz, had released them deliberately. He was waiting with a shotgun. Mama Tingo saw him, grabbed her machete. 2 shots, head, chest. She fell, fighting. The news exploded across the Dominican Republic. The government that had ignored her for months suddenly couldn't ignore this. Public outrage forced their hand. Within weeks, they returned all 8,000 acres to the 300 families. Mama Tingo won in death, what she'd fought for in life. Her killer? Arrested. Released on bail months later. Never truly punished. But the land? The families kept it. To this day, 50 years later, a metro station in Santo Domingo bears her name. A statue stands in Monte Plata. The entire region was renamed Mama Tingo. 1974.
Look, I was talking the whole time I was on mute. So, that story about Mama Tingo, I was just saying while I was on mute. If you guys ever visit the Dominican Republic on your cruises or you just go there on vacation and you happen to see something that with her name on it, Mama Tingo, or you ever see the statue, you'll be able to say, "Hey, I know that story. I remember that." So do your research, and while you're there, ask the locals and see if you can get any more information. See what stories that they have, because it's different when you talk to an actual native. They have more information because their families originate from there. So they probably have stories that they can add to what the tidbit that we know already. All right, so let's keep on keeping on. I hope you guys are enjoying the live. Make sure if you have not already, hit that like button, share out the live. If you're on the TikTok side, make sure you reach up the top and grab your daily heart me. And if you could, please share out the live. All right. We're gonna do one more African origin story. I think we all are familiar with this one.
15 to 1866. European ships sail to West Africa. They don't just buy slaves. They raid villages, burn homes, chain families, march them to the coast in coffles, neck chains connecting dozens, walk for weeks. Many die on the march. The survivors reach the coast, sold to European traders, branded with hot irons, marked as property. Then loaded onto ships, the Middle Passage begins. Africans packed into ship holds, lying side by side, less than 2 feet of space per person, can't sit up, can't turn over, chained at the ankles, chained at the wrists, lying in their own waste for weeks, the smell unbearable, the heat suffocating, disease spreads instantly, dysentery, smallpox, typhoid, dead bodies left chained to the living for days, some go insane, jump overboard when brought up for air, choosing death over slavery. Ship captains don't care, calculate deaths into profit margins, women raped by crew members, repeatedly. Children die first, the elderly next. The voyage takes 6 to 12 weeks depending on conditions. Storms kill hundreds at once. Ships sink regularly. Over 400 years, 12 million Africans forced onto ships. 2 million die during the Middle Passage. Bodies thrown overboard. Sharks follow the slave ships. They learn the route, fed a steady stream of corpses. The survivors? Sold in the Americas, families separated on auction blocks, never see each other again. The Middle Passage destroys languages, cultures, families, identities, by design. 12 million kidnapped, 2 million dead at sea. Sharks followed the ships. The greatest forced migration in human history, the journey that built the Americas on the backs of the enslaved. 15 to 18.
Well, we all know that story too well. That's one that's it's the largest one and the one that I think is publicized the most. And that's just my personal opinion. So We're going to keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Trying to get some of these stories that I don't think will trigger some things on the TikTok side. But I mean, all of these are kind of gruesome and triggering. So yeah, let's do a different culture. Let's see.
January 3rd, 2026, 2 a.m., Caracas, Venezuela. Explosions light up the sky. 150 U.S. aircraft strike Venezuelan air defenses. Delta Force helicopters fly 100 feet above water toward the capital. Target, Fort Tiuna, Venezuela's largest military complex. Inside, Nicolas Maduro, asleep with his wife. The helicopters land. Special forces breach the compound. Maduro tries to run to his steel-reinforced safe room. Too late. Dragged out, handcuffed, arrested. His wife Celia captured with him. Within hours, on a U.S. warship, the USS Iwo Jima. By evening, New York. The dictator who controlled the world's largest oil reserves captured in under 3 hours. January 5th, Manhattan Federal Court. Orange prison jumpsuit. Handcuffs. Charges, narco-terrorism, drug trafficking, money laundering. He tells the judge,
I am still president of Venezuela.
Pleads not guilty. Back in Venezuela, chaos. Vice president sworn in, but the regime is broken. Trump announces,
we are going to run the country.
The real reason? 300 billion barrels of oil, 12 years in power. Captured in 3 hours. Now in a New York jail cell. The president who thought he was untouchable. Arrested by Delta Force at dawn. January 3rd, 2026.
That story is happened present day time. So we all kind of got an idea when that story was going on, what exactly was happening, right? Yeah, excuse me. That happened in our time. All right, let's see. Where are we gonna go? Oh, it's a lot, y'all. It's a lot. And I'm trying to see what am I gonna pick that will keep, that I can share and keep the information still going. Make sure if you have not hit that like button and share out the live, make sure that if you're on TikTok, you grab your daily heart me. Okay, I don't have a choice at this point. We're gonna well, we'll do this one.
1960s. America is trapped in Vietnam. The Vietnam communists hit and run, disappear into the jungle. U.S. forces chase them, find nothing. Then intelligence reveals the truth. The Vietnam communists are slipping into Laos, a neutral country, using the Ho Chi Minh Trail as a supply route. Laos declared neutrality in 1962. Isn't fighting anyone. Doesn't matter. America decides. Destroy the trail. 1964. The bombing begins. For 9 years, it never stops. Every 8 minutes, a plane load of bombs drops on Laos. 2 million tons total, the most bombed country per capita in history. Villages flattened, rice fields cratered, families buried alive. 270 million cluster bombs dropped, 80 million never explode. They sink into the soil, wait. 1973, the war ends. The bombing stops, but the horror continues. Since then, over 20,000 Laotians killed or maimed by leftover bombs, half of them children. Kids find bomblets, think they're toys, they explode. Farmers plow fields, hit a bomb, lose their legs. 50 years later, only 1% of contaminated land has been cleared, and America kept it secret. The bombings were classified, denied publicly for decades. 2 million tons of bombs on a neutral country every 8 minutes for 9 years. 1960s, America.
I remember learning about this. I don't know if it was in school or if I heard. I remember watching something about this at home. Um, News stories, some kind of news media was covering it, and I would say even in the 1990s, um, they were still discovering artillery and things that were buried or during that war, and people were still getting hurt even in the 1990s. And I can't. I don't think no. It was. I don't think it was in school, but it was some kind of program that I was part of that they talked about it, and then I end up seeing a news coverage on it on TV. So I do remember some of that because I remember um, vaguely them talking about how it was children that were playing around in fields in several areas and coming across these items and thinking that they didn't know where they were, what they were, and they were playing with them and they would detonate and unalive the children. So I do remember that. Let's do this one.
1955, Montgomery, Alabama. A 26-year-old Baptist preacher leads a bus boycott. Martin Luther King Jr., 381 days. Black citizens refuse to ride segregated buses. They walk, carpool, lose jobs, face arrests. December 1956. The Supreme Court rules bus segregation is unconstitutional. King wins his first battle. The movement explodes. King preaches nonviolence, leads from the front, gets arrested 29 times. But someone is watching, taking notes, building a file. FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover. He calls King the most dangerous Negro in America. 1963. King plans the March on Washington. 250,000 people gather at the Lincoln Memorial. King delivers the "I Have a Dream" speech. It becomes the defining moment of the civil rights movement. Hoover's response? Destroy him. The FBI launches COINTELPRO, a secret program to neutralize King. They bug his hotel rooms, tap his phones, record everything. 1964. King wins the Nobel Peace Prize. The FBI panics. They send King an anonymous letter with audio recordings.
You are done. There is only one way out for you. You better take it before your filthy, abnormal, fraudulent self is bared to the nation.
It's a suicide letter from the U.S. government. King doesn't respond, keeps marching. 1965, Selma to Montgomery March. Peaceful protesters beaten on Bloody Sunday. The nation watches on TV, outraged. President Johnson signs the Voting Rights Act. King is winning. The FBI intensifies surveillance, spreads rumors, plants false stories, tries to break his marriage, ruin his reputation. Nothing works. 1968, King shifts focus from civil rights to economic justice, the Poor People's Campaign. He speaks against the Vietnam War, calls it immoral. April 3rd, 1968, Memphis, Tennessee. King gives his final speech.
I've been to the mountaintop. I may not get there with you, but we as a people will get to the promised land.
April 4th, 1968. King steps onto the balcony of the Lorraine Motel. A single gunshot. He dies an hour later, age 39. James Earl Ray is arrested, convicted. 1999. A civil trial jury rules King's assassination was the result of a conspiracy. Martin Luther King Jr. assassinated at 39. His dream outlived them all. 1955. Montgomery, Alabama. A 26-year-old Baptist.
Well, we know that story all too well. All too well. All too well. Let's go across the water.
(1992) Bosnia. Yugoslavia collapses. Bosnia declares independence. Three groups live there: Bosnian Muslims, Serbs, Croatians. Serbian nationalists reject a Muslim-majority Bosnia. April 1992. Serbian forces surround Sarajevo, Bosnia's capital. The siege begins. 1,425 days, the longest siege in modern history. Snipers position on hills, shoot civilians buying bread, children walking to school. 11,000 people killed in Sarajevo alone. Across Bosnia, Serbian forces launch ethnic cleansing, removing Muslims and Croatians from Serbian-claimed territory. Mass executions, rape camps, concentration camps, families loaded onto buses, never seen again. 1995. Srebrenica, a UN-designated safe zone. 40,000 Bosnian Muslims sheltered there, protected by 400 UN peacekeepers. July 11th, Serbian forces, led by General Ratko Mladic, enter. The UN peacekeepers do nothing. Serbian soldiers separate men and boys from women. Over 8,000 Muslim men and boys are executed, shot in fields, buried in mass graves. The worst massacre in Europe since World War II. Happening on TV. CNN broadcasts it. The UN does nothing. NATO does nothing. For 3 years. Finally, August 1995, NATO begins airstrikes. Serbian forces retreat. November 1995, the war ends. 100,000 dead. 2 million displaced. Mass graves still being discovered today. 2017, Ratko Mladic convicted of genocide. 100,000 killed in Europe, while the UN watched. 1992, Bosnia.
So this is an example. We've been doing a whole bunch of stories with about different backgrounds and showing how people, whether it's a religious background, whether it's your uh, ethnicity, whether it's your culture, all of these people divided by different ideas or beliefs or and things. And the division is to the point to where it causes you to want to do harm to the other group, which is which is the bottom line problem. Instead of us learning to coexist with our differences and learning that, we all have different ideas, different beliefs, we all see things differently. No two people are the same, which makes us uniquely, which should blow your mind and be like, we all human, but we all are different. How can this be? It's millions of people and we're all different. That should be the thing that motivates us. And hey, Shawnee, welcome in. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. One time for you. That should be the thing that excites us about trying to be together is learning how can this be? How can we be different? Learning, wanting to know what created us and the power that it had to create us all to be uniquely different, considering that all of us live in this one area and no one thing is the same. We may look, favor each other, but we're not the same. We're all uniquely different. And instead of us embracing that and trying to figure out how we can make that work for us, we focus on how the differences hurts, how you may think the difference hurts you, right? And how you can use that to get you ahead, which is not the way we should be thinking. We should be trying to do things together. Use what you got to help build you up and help build this world up. And in essence, the good that you do not only benefits you, but benefits the people around you. And if it's benefiting the people around you, that's still benefiting you too, right? Man, but we just don't get that. Some people minds just don't can't wrap around that. They just can't see it. And that's the sad part. That's the sad part. So we're gonna go to another story. I'm trying to find the one about the women. It may be a different page. I think it's a different page that I'm looking for. But while I'm looking for that, guys, make sure that you have hit that like button. Make sure you have shared out the live. Make sure that you have grabbed your daily heart meat if you are on the TikTok side. We'll do this one and then I'll go to the other page. Oh, wait, no, that's not the video. Okay, let's go to my saved things. Hey, I guess it is on that page. Huh. Well, while I'm looking for that, let me just share this video.
Have y'all seen this video? Watch this one right here.
And in The Lion
Hey,
King, they
Crafty,
showed you
welcome
how
in.
life works. Simba lost his father at an early age and lost who he was. Some prophet named Rafiki, hello, and he told Simba he had a message for him.
Hey,
Simba thought his
welcome
father
in.
was dead. And the monkey says, your father's not dead, he's still alive. And you seen him lit up. No, what? He says, I know your father. He said, watch this. He said, follow me and I'll take you to your father. So Rafiki takes off running. Simba ain't thinking about nothing else but seeing his father. He's running through the weeds. He's running through the adversity. And all of a sudden, Rafiki shows up at some water. Look, there's your father. And he looked in the water and saw his image. And when he saw his image, he said, that's not my father. And the monkey said, look harder. And when he looked harder, he looked again. And all of a sudden, he's looking at a reflection, but then he sees his father. His father's message was to him, Simba, remember who you are. And once he remembered who he was, he went back to his home, not as Simba, but as a king. And if Disney has enough revelation to know that if a person can see that the image of the Father is in them, they'll step into their calling. Why is the church so blind to that? Because when we preach, we don't preach that we're the image of God. We teach a message to be blessed by Him, but never look at the reflection. We teach baptism as just a water experience instead of look harder. Until we see the Father, life has and will father you. You'll be nurtured by every single heartbreak. You'll either become introverted or a fighter. And it's because you're learning to protect yourself because you have no father to protect you.
So I played that video. That was just our little commercial break. Because we've been learning a lot of information. And it all ties in to what I have been repeating over and over and over again. That we need to learn our history. We need to look harder into your history so you can see yourself and see who you are. And when you realize who you are, then you could move in that manner. But if you don't know who you are, what you gonna do? If you don't know the power that you have, if you don't know your purpose, what are you doing? Right? And it has nothing to do with, let me burst some bubbles. It has nothing to do with your religion. And I'm going to leave that right there where it's at. All right. We talked about the Victory Gardens. We did that. Let's go back. I think, yeah, I probably have gotten to all the videos that I wanted to show y'all. Except for the one about the girls. Hold on.
1912. Forsyth.
That's not it. I feel like I missed. I think I showed that. I think I showed that one. One of these lives I showed. We talked about that one. We talked about that one. Yeah, I think that's ones that I wanted to talk about. Trying to make sure before we end the live. It was one in particular, but it looks like they probably took the video down. Oh, no. Okay. Here it is. It was right here at the top. Okay. It's this one. Sorry. Okay. Here's the one.
1917, Orange, New Jersey. Young women, some as young as 14, are hired to paint watch dials. They're told radium paint is harmless. They're even encouraged to lick the brushes to make a fine point. They do it thousands of times a day. They glow in the dark after work. At first, it feels like magic. Then the horror begins. Their teeth fall out. Their jaws rot and crumble. Bones become brittle and break. Cancer spreads through their bodies. They die in agony, some as young as 21. The company knows radium is deadly. They hide the truth. They tell the girls they're just hysterical. When the women sue, the company fights them for years. Lawyers drag out the cases until many of the girls are too sick to continue, or dead. Grace Fryer, Catherine Wolfe Donahue, dozens more. They fight until their last breath. Some win small settlements. Most die before seeing real justice. The Radium Girls changed labor laws forever, but the companies that poisoned them never truly paid. They were told the paint was safe. They licked it every day. Their jaws disintegrated, and the men who knew the truth walked free. 1917, or
Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy? That brought to mind another story that I gotta show y'all. Jeez Louise. It's just crazy of the things that go on that gets covered up. Let me see. This next story is about, where is it? It's not as gruesome. It's kind of like that one, the one that we just seen. But I gotta find it. It's not that. Is it this one?
he funded Hamas to prevent peace, then bombed Gaza to
No, that ain't it. Where is it? Is it this one?
It's 1964.
No, that ain't it. Where is it? I ain't gonna even do the 9/11 story. I'm gonna leave that alone. I think they might have took down the story um that I wanted to share with y'all about the World Cup. Hmm.
1898. The Philippines has been a
No, that ain't it. Where is it? This might be it.
2010,
Yeah,
Zurich.
here we go.
FIFA votes on the 2022 World Cup host. 32 countries compete. Then a tiny desert nation with no stadiums wins.
Qatar.
Investigations later reveal the truth. Millions in bribes. FIFA officials arrested. Whistleblowers say the vote was bought. But by then, it's too late. Qatar has the World Cup, and they need to build it fast. They bring in workers, thousands of them, from Nepal, Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, Kenya. Promised good wages, promised opportunity. When they arrive, their passports are seized. No way out. They're housed in slums, cramped rooms, no air conditioning, 12 to a room in some camps. The work begins, 12-hour shifts, in 50 degrees Celsius heat. The desert sun doesn't stop, neither does the work. No breaks, no shade, no water in some sites. Workers start collapsing. The heat stroke, cardiac arrest, dehydration. Some fall from scaffolding, some crushed by machinery. When someone dies, the body is sent home. The families are paid compensation, a few $1,000s. But by 2022, over 6,500 migrant workers are dead. Qatar denies the numbers, says only 3 deaths were work-related. But journalists investigate. Hospital records, death certificates, worker testimonies. The real number? Likely higher than 6,500. Some estimates, 15,000. FIFA knows. Human rights groups send reports. Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch. FIFA's response: we are committed to worker welfare. The stadiums are built anyway. 8 brand new stadiums. $220 billion spent. The most expensive World Cup in history. November 20th, 2022. The tournament begins. Millions watch worldwide. When celebrities attend, players celebrate. But beneath the lights, the workers who built it are gone. No memorial, no moment of silence, no acknowledgement, just football. FIFA President Gianni Infantino stands on stage, says this is the best World Cup ever. Qatar celebrates, the world watches, and the families back in Nepal, Bangladesh, India, still waiting for justice. 6,500 workers died. FIFA took the bribes. Qatar built the stadiums, and not one person went to prison. 2010.
It's crazy how people lose their lives. Hey, welcome in, Homesteader Rachel. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. It's crazy how people lose their lives for everybody else to be comfortable. But it's a difference when you lose it for somebody's comfort, for them, for something for good. Okay, so like people took a risk on doing things in a boycott so that we can vote, right? That's important. But for stadiums, like, do they really need that? Were their lives worth that? Like, no, no. So that was just senseless deaths. And all somebody had to do was speak up and say something, but nobody wanted to speak up and say nothing. Well, y'all, those were the videos that I had um for learning your history. But I do have a few videos that I can share because I am a gardener and I'm concerned with food and things. So there are a few videos that I would like to share that are outside of history that I'd like to share with you guys. Um, so let me share that with you at this time.
Here's something strange about the low-fat label in your grocery store. It might be making you eat more sugar than you ever have. Fat has been part of the human diet for hundreds of thousands of years. We ate it from animals, from nuts, from whole milk. It carried nutrients the body couldn't absorb without it. It told the brain we were full. That was the design. Then, in 1967, the Sugar Research Foundation paid scientists at Harvard to publish a review. A review that quietly buried the link between sugar and heart disease, and pointed the finger at fat instead. It worked. By 1977, the US government told an entire nation to stop eating fat, and the food industry was ready. Because when you remove fat from food, the taste disappears with it. Texture collapses. Nothing holds together. So, instead, they replaced it. Low-fat peanut butter gets maltodextrin, a processed starch that spikes blood sugar faster than table sugar. Low-fat yogurt gets high-fructose corn syrup and modified cornstarch. Low-fat salad dressing gets corn syrup, xanthan gum, and carrageenan to fake the mouthfeel that fat used to create naturally. The fat left. The calories didn't. Walk through a grocery store today and pick up any low-fat product. Flip it over. Sugar will be in the top 3 ingredients, almost every time. So, what does real food look like? It doesn't have a low-fat version. Whole milk, full-fat yogurt, real peanut butter. Ingredients you recognize. Nothing added to replace something removed. Because what the industry sold you as health food was sugar wearing fat's clothes. Follow for more food lies hiding in plain sight. Here's something.
Well, for those of you who have been following me for quite some time and have been on a journey with me with finding out what we are really eating, we already know this. We already know that we need to turn our labels around and read them. And if there are words there that we can't pronounce, put it back. If there are words there other than the ingredients that's in it, uh, put it back. And we've learned to look for different names of sugar. And we've learned that sugar is just not spelled normally SUGAR, but there are different derivatives, different aliases, different nicknames for that they use to disguise it for you. And so, bottom line, in our research, we find that the only way to eliminate that is to eat, to grow your own food. And if you can't grow it, which you can, but a lot of people, I don't have a green thumb, I don't have a garden, I don't have space to do it. Well, if you can't, if that is your narrative, if that is your truth, then support someone who is. Purchase from that person. If your neighbor has a garden, I'm pretty sure if you talk to them, they wouldn't mind bartering with you. You know, if there's something that you do, you may be a crafter or you may be good at something and you can offer your assistance to them, or they may even take money to help them with their garden. Or you may want to trade some labor. I come out there and help you do some weeding and harvest the things like that. That's the times that we live in because we already know they doing 3D printing. They doing GMOs. They creating food in the labs. Food is not coming from animals. It's not coming from seed. It's never been outside except for being in the truck or being transported from where it came from to the store. So do your due diligence, do your research, this is definitely part of your history, right? Do your history on foods and why these things have come about. And in doing your history, you will find out that people have been doing this for a long time, little by little. And now it is very much out of control, right? To the point to where it's, to me, to my eyes, it's so obvious. But if you haven't been paying attention, it may not be as obvious to you to recognize what's going on. So do your research. At this point in time, we're living in a time where we can't just go into the store and just buy something. Right? You got to do your research before you go shopping. Meaning you need to do your research and find out about this store, find out where they get their food from, find out this company that you buying from. If you don't want to do your homework to go grocery shopping, then go to a farmer's market. Support your local farmer. And then question some of them because they might be local, but they might be doing some practices to cut costs. Okay? It's a little bit extra work, but I mean, you gotta do it if you want to live and if you want to live healthy. Okay, I got another one.
Bread. Here's something strange about the bread in your kitchen. It was designed to go stale slower. Not for you. For the supply chain, bread is one of the oldest foods on Earth. Ancient Egyptians were baking leavened loaves over 5,000 years ago. Real bread was simple. Flour, water, salt, thyme. Wild yeast would slowly consume the sugars in the dough over 12 to 18 hours. That fermentation broke down gluten, made the bread easier to digest, built flavor that didn't need anything added. 4 ingredients. Then the food industry decided waiting was a problem. In 1961, a British research lab called Chorleywood developed a new process. No long fermentation, no waiting. Instead, high-speed mechanical mixing, extreme pressure. Chemical oxidizers added directly to the dough, a loaf in under 4 hours. And nobody was required to tell you what went in. So they added azodicarbonamide to strengthen the dough. The same chemical used to make yoga mats. Banned in the European Union. Still legal in the United States. Then calcium propionate to slow the mold you'd never see coming. Then DATEM, diacetyl tartaric acid esters of mono and diglycerides to fake the texture that fermentation would have created naturally. Then soy flour, soybean oil, corn syrup. Then they stripped the wheat of its nutrients and added synthetic vitamins back in. And called it enriched. Walk through any grocery store today and pick up a loaf of bread. Read the back. 30 ingredients. 40 in some cases. And half of them don't have names you can say out loud. So what does real bread look like? Flour, water, salt, yeast. Some add olive oil. Some use sourdough starter instead of yeast. That's the complete list. If the ingredient panel covers half the bag, it's not bread. It's a baked foam engineered to feel like one. Because what replaced 5,000 years of fermentation is chemistry shaped like bread. Follow for more food.
So that's on your bread. And it's a whole lot. It's a whole lot we can go deep into about the food that you eat and the ingredients that supposedly are in there. Right. We eating yoga mats, y'all. Basically, we eating yoga mats. And you wonder why when you put cheese in the oven is or you putting cheese on something and it's not melting, or you adding I saw somebody on some social media platform where they actually put like some lettuce, a piece of lettuce under an open fire, and it didn't do nothing but just kind of like got rubbery. Yeah, y'all better grow your food or support somebody that is growing. I got one last video for y'all, and it's from one of my uh, favorites who I like to watch, Dr. Yaki or Yaki, however you want to say it. Uh, we're going to end our session with that. But I hope you guys, she said, wow, baked foam. Yes, baked foam. Yummy baked foam. Yep, yep. And you could taste the difference even now. Um, even when I buy food from the big box stores, it takes it doesn't cook the same, right? If you've noticed lately, it doesn't cook the same. It takes longer to cook, or you have to change the temperature. You thinking there's something wrong with your oven. Uh, it doesn't taste the same when you cut it. The texture is not the same, and because of that, I chose to start getting my meat from local source. But even with that, you have to be careful. 'Cause I purchased meat from a local source, and it tasted like straight chemicals. So I know that they was spraying something on the. They probably was growing the food for the animals to eat, right? Thinking that they were doing something good. But whatever they were using to grow those vegetables got into those vegetables, and then you feed it to the animals, and then the animals eat it, and it gets into their bodies, and essentially it's in that meat. So I bought vegetables and meat from this particular source, and I tasted the vegetables. I'm like, now all the vegetables didn't taste like chemicals. I would say the leafy ones, like I had some mustards, I had some collards and turnips. So I cooked the collards one day, and taking them out the bag, when I put them in water, I smelt a chemical smell. So I'm like, well, maybe that's from, I don't know what it was from. I thought I could wash it off. So I soaked them, and the smell went away. But lo and behold, when I cooked them, the smell came back. My whole house was like, smelled like I had just sprayed Roundup or something, right? And I had to throw that away. Um, because I knew that there was chemicals in that. There's no way that greens should smell like that. And when I grew them, it ain't smell like that. So that let me know that, they had chemicals in it. So I tried the meat, baked the meat. Meat was it the texture was right. It cooked good, it was falling off the bone. Um, it had that faint chemical smell. And when I tasted it, you could taste the chemical in the meat. So I was like, nah, we can't have this. So we had to find us another source. I have a source back home. If you guys have seen when I went to visit a farm back in Louisiana called Muse Farm, oh my God, they have now they meat is good. it is organic food and meat. And so what I have decided to do is when I go home, I'm gonna stock up from them and bring it back up here because I know they stuff is good. When I tell you, I ate a burger from there when I visited the farm. Oh my God, I haven't found ground meat like that since. I haven't. No, I'm lying. I did at the downtown farmers market in in Baton Rouge. When I buy meat from the downtown farmers market in Baton Rouge, their meat is good. I get sausage, pork chops from them, and chicken. Their meat is good. But so I got two sources back home, but it's hard for me to find sources here in Oklahoma. So Sweet Time said meat looking like it's been soaking in red Kool-Aid. Yeah, a strong no. No. No, thank you. Definitely a strong no, thank you. Man. And especially if it's seasoned already, that mean they took it back there and doctored it up to make it look good for you to buy it. But sometimes, that's all we have. And with that, let me just say that if you are in a position to where sometimes that's all you can get, I would recommend, and let me tell you, this works for me. I'm telling you what worked for me. I don't know if it'll work for you. But because sometimes we do have to go to those places and we do purchase things that we know aren't good. And sometimes, unbeknownst to us, we may consume something that is not good for our bodies. If you take care of your body, meaning cut down on the amount you eat, cut down on your portions, cut down on the amount of sugar you consume, cut down on your microplastics and your heavy metals, cut that down, get your load down, and the way that you do that is you pay attention to what you're putting in your mouth. Intentionally look at those labels and don't buy it. Don't bring it home. That way it decreases your chance of eating it. And then on top of all of that, do your fasting. Give your body time to relax and reset. So that way when you are in position, when your body comes in contact with things that it's not supposed to have, it will be equipped to fight it off and do what it's supposed to do. All right. With that being said, let's look at our last video with Dr. Yaki.
Lupus is what they call a autoimmune disease. Anytime they label something autoimmune, that means they don't know what the hell going on with the body. So lupus is when they say that the immune system is attacking the actual tissues of the body. But when you get deep into microbiology and physiology, you start studying the pathology of what they call lupus, what you see is you would notice that the immune system, they say, is attacking the tissues, but the immune system is not really attacking the tissues. The immune system is attacking the acids that's sitting on the tissues. In my facility, at my clinic, we call it friendly fire. If you got all this metabolic toxins, you got all these waste built up into your molecular structure, they sitting on your tissues, and then your immune system is trying to go and phagocytose those cells or engulf them cells. You have the T cells, the B cells, the macrophages, basophils, the eosinophils. They're coming and they're trying to pick up all of those toxins and take it to a lymph node, and then the lymph node have bacteria in it that's degraded and disintegrated down to take it to the kidneys where you can urinate these things out. If the lymphatic system is stagnated and not moving, what happened is the T cells and the natural killer cells and the B cells will be released by the bone marrow and by the thymus, and they'll go and they'll start targeting those acids. But since everything is all stagnant and saturated, what happens is they start nicking on the tissues trying to get the acids. So when you look at any autoimmune disease, whether it's lupus, whether it's multiple sclerosis, or all of these, they always parasite driven, where you got to deworm yourself, do a parasite cleanse.
So just go to a doctor, have a blood test, and see what level of ammonia is in your blood. If you have ammonia in your blood, that's called worm urine.
If I was you, I'd do fresh cloves, I'd do wormwood tea, 8 ounces every day, use cinnamon bark to actually pull them out, and do cascar sagrada to open up your bowels and start pooping these things out. And then what I would do is I would make sure that I get rid of the inflammatory response. Go on a mucus-less, alkaline forming diet. Fruits, there's vegetables, there's melons, there's herbs, That's all organic. And make sure that you get it from a farmer's market and not your produce, because it ain't gonna have no minerals in it. And you need those minerals to convert into electrolytes and salts to rehydrate you.
Deworming programs, you change your vibration, and you change your vibration so dramatically that the worms and parasites either have to get out of you, this is no longer a good home, or they die in you. It's time to deworm, and it's time to get them out.
All right, so guys, I would recommend that you go watch that full video um to find out more. Um it's a lot of information that he shares that could get you guys on the right track of getting your bodies reset and getting them in a position to where it can operate the way it was created to operate. He say, bro, Yaki, stay spitting those bars. For real. Look, while I was listening to now I've listened to that video several times, but while I was listening to it this time, I don't know why, but I was in a state to where my mind was saying if I was a regular person, the stuff that he was saying, it would be over my head and it'd just sound like he going da 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 because it's a lot of information. And then he using those medical terms. So in essence, what he was saying was that, in lupus, instead of your immune system attacking the acids that are sitting on the cells, your immune system is attacking that whole cell, and that's what's causing the problem. In essence, bottom line, your immune system is not operating the way that it should be. And in order for you to get it to be operating the way that it should be, he was saying that we need to do a parasite cleanse. That's all. That's it. That's all. But yeah, it's just echoing what I was saying just before I started that video. We need to get our bodies into a reset mode, reset it, meaning get it back to where it can do what it was created to do. All right, because we, it's a lot of things beyond our control that causes our bodies to not operate correctly. And there's a lot of things that are in our control that causes our bodies not to operate correctly. And if we do our part, then that is over half the battle. And the rest, the body will be able to handle on its own. So he said the thing don't work with the thing because of the thing. So you need to do a thing or two right. That's exactly what he said. So I thank y'all for being here. I thank y'all for coming in and being part of the live and hitting that like button and sharing out the live. I hope there was some information that was given that can help you be better than you were when you came. And don't just sit on this information. Use it not only for yourself, but spread it to someone else, right? Each one teach one. And I am so glad that we made it through the whole live in TikTok. I don't know if I got uh any problems, but I'm gonna go back and check. They let the live go, but and I had a few people come in, so it looked like it was a success. But again, I thank y'all for being here. Hope you enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, and I will see y'all in these social media streets. Peace, love, and blessings, everybody.